James Corden. In the UK, he is best known for being Smithy from Gavin and Stacey, and in the US, he's best known for being an unbearable talk show host. After my Ellen video dropped, I got a ton of requests to look into other celebrities, and James Corden's name just kept on coming up. So I looked into it and found out that Cats wasn't even close to the worst thing he's done. Look at the bloody state of him here. Well, it turns out that when he films Carpool Karaoke, he isn't actually driving. Oh my God. I know. We are all so shocked right now. No. Seriously, who actually thought he was driving? When that came out as a story, people were genuinely upset. You really think celebrities are gonna trust Big Puss with their life? But aside from Carpool Karaoke and Cats, it seems that people really hate James Corden off camera. He is notoriously considered an arsehole. When on camera, he acts like he's this lovable, relatable guy. It seems that might not be true. Alright then, I will. So before we hear any stories from other people as to why Big Puss is a twat, James is kind of giving me a freebie here because he admitted himself that he had to go to therapy because when he had one hit show in England, Gavin and Stacey, he became a massive bellend. For article title, and this is one of my favourite article titles ever, James Corden went to therapy to learn not to be an insufferable prick. And it references an interview that James Corden himself did in The New Yorker. He himself saying, "I started to behave like a brat, but I just don't think I am. It's so intoxicating, that first flush of fame, and I think it's even more intoxicating if you're not bred for it." Corden's mother revealed that she prayed for him, while his sisters simply insisted he not be a dickhead. It was so bad, his mum was actually praying for him. At this time in his life, he had one hit show in England. He wasn't even that famous, especially compared to the fame he has now. What do you think, that now he's mixing with the elite, the most famous stars in all of Hollywood, that he's been humbled? He's just a humble guy now and not actually a knob. Corden claims he's no longer a giant arsehole. Oh, okay then, pack it up. He said he's no longer an arsehole, so we'll be out of here. See you later, guys. No need to make this anymore. Bye. See you later. Video over. Even his own co-stars on Gavin and Stacey had to confront him. Gavin and Stacey co-star Rob Brydon also approached him about his attitude, with Brydon recalling, "I said, look, this is a bit awkward to say, but I'm just hearing these things about you, and you've got to know that the way you behave has an effect on people. And I am all for people changing, and if James Corden from that point onwards was this great guy, and everyone was like, wow, he's actually a cool guy now, yeah, sure." But since that interview, I have seen nothing but him being called a colossal wanker. So let's kindly turn our attention to the worst Reddit AMA in history. James Corden obviously thought he was so loved by the public that this would be a good idea, but how wrong he was. He got torn to shreds on Reddit. Just look at the endless posts ripping him a new one. Let me read a few out. Haven't watched any of your US stuff. Are you just as intolerable and as unfunny as you were in the UK? Why have you switched it up a bit? How does it feel knowing that no matter how much fame and money you have, you'll never be able to buy love? How does it feel that the 10 most upvoted questions are all about James being a douchebag? It was like nothing I've ever seen before, just relentless. And obviously with these kind of posts, people who had experiences with James Corden gladly shared them. "Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles, plus some others, in a Mancunian Legends in London, Chinatown, about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit. And when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening in a chubby way, like a boozy panda." James obviously didn't respond to this, and all we have is this lady's word that this happened. But another way more alarming encounter someone had with James Corden was highlighted in this Reddit thread, and James actually confirms this happened in his response to it. Someone posted, "Remember that time James Corden showed up to a private WGA meeting to advocate for lower pay grade for late night writers? What was that all about?" In which someone said a late night writer named Jack Allison called him out for it on Twitter. You can read it and see Corden's response here. What they're referring to is this tweet here. "I'd like to state once again for the record that I went to a WGA meeting for only late night writers, and James Corden showed up without any of his staffers to advocate for a lower pay grade for late night writers." James Corden responded with, "Jack, I went to the meeting because I was invited like you were, like every writer on my show was. What you've written here is completely untrue. I asked if there could be a new writers program for people who have interned for a year on a show and want to be writers. I stated. In which Jack clapped back with, James, you showed up to a guild meeting as an employer flanked by your executive producer to advocate for the show's interest to pay writers less. If you want to give talented young writers a shot, you can pay them the guild minimum that was negotiated with the NBA. James absolutely dismantles this man's points by saying, you are completely wrong. Everything you just said is completely not true. I promise you. Absolutely solid arguments from James there. Sensing a fat dub in sight, Jack came back with, well, except for the fact that it is completely true. You showed up to a private guild meeting, spoke first when the floor opened, and it was to advocate for a lower pay program for new writers, and you only had an executive producer with you, none of the writers. Now flustered, James responds with, I was invited, as were they. I have no idea why none of them went. This is also strange to me. It was a good intention suggestion. All it was an idea, a way to try and help. I'm sorry you didn't see it as this. Have a great day. He still hasn't disputed the points that he was advocating for lower pay. I mean, saying it's untrue doesn't cut it. Say clearly what your suggestion was and how Jack is wrong and misinterpreted it. Because now it's just seeming like you've confirmed it happened and that Jack is telling the truth. Because he's definitely winning this argument. But it doesn't end there. No, no, no. Jack said, you have a great day too. An employer showing up to a writers guild meeting to advocate that his show pay less to new writers is self-evidently disgusting and ridiculous. That's what I said you did, and you confirmed it in these responses. James said, I showed up as a writer to stand alongside writers. I will continue to do so. Not one person in the meeting said, wait, are you trying to pay writers less? Not one. It was discussed at length how to create more first job opportunities for talented, passionate people, in which Jack finishes this all off with, you create job opportunities for talented, passionate people by hiring them and paying them the minimum your guild has negotiated. I was offended by what you said, and I know a few other people were, even if they didn't raise it to someone with hiring power directly to their face. And James stayed silent after that. No response, no comeback. I mean, James had literally zero good comebacks to any of Jack's points. But imagine a late night host such as James Corden, who relies on writers to make him somewhat entertaining and presentable and actually have some sort of, you know, script for the show. Imagine advocating for them to get paid less. It's a fucking joke. And that was in 2019, by the way. Now, moving on, this clip is hilarious. There's an extremely uncomfortable clip of James Corden at an award show. It's an old clip, but nonetheless, it's just funny to watch. He was presenting this award show, and apparently he was acting as if he didn't want to be there and that he was on his phone a lot, which if you keep watching this video, seems to be a really common theme with James Corden. When Patrick Stewart got his award, he was drunk and he started calling out James Corden on it, and this altercation happened. Enjoy.
To speak to James here. It's James, isn't it? When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly. And that was right over there at the back of the room. These people down here, you know.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
One more. Do you want one more? If you fancy the Jonas Brothers, cover your belly.
For whatever it's worth, I like your belly, so. but I would pay to see.
It is a testament to how unlikable James Corden is, that in a situation where Patrick Stewart clearly started it all and was being mean.
Okay.
In my opinion, James still comes out looking like the bigger twat. And while James mentioned dying on stage, let's all sit back and relax and watch James Corden absolutely bomb on stage trying to tell some Harvey Weinstein jokes.
Right here in LA, it's so beautiful. Harvey Weinstein has already asked tonight up to his hotel to give him a massage. I don't know whether that groan was that you like that joke or you don't like that joke. If you don't like that joke, you should probably leave now. It has been weird this week though, hasn't it? Watching Harvey Weinstein in hot water. Ask any of the women who watched him take a bath. It's weird watching Harvey Weinstein in hot water. Harvey Weinstein wanted to come tonight, but he'll settle for whatever potted plant is closest.
People were outraged about this because as well, this was very recent after a lot of the victims came forward. And the way he acts as if, come on guys, you should be laughing at my jokes, it's funny. If you don't like my jokes, you should get out of here. It's funny because when Bill Maher made some fat jokes, James Corden took a stand on his show as if he was stepping over the line making these jokes.
Not just about being able to see a doctor, it's also about being able to see your
Believe me, I can see a dick. In the meantime, Bill, please hear me when I say this. While you're encouraging people to think about what goes into their mouths, just think a little harder about what comes out of yours. Ask any of the women who watched him take a bath. It's weird watching Harvey Weinstein in hot water.
James Corden, if you can make edgy jokes about Harvey Weinstein, something far more serious that so many actresses in Hollywood went through, who are you to tell Bill Maher he can't make jokes about being fat? Just because you didn't like it doesn't make it something people can't joke about, especially when you're making edgier jokes. Just to get some admiration and claps from his live audience, who, by the way, James Corden can't stand. His show has TripAdvisor reviews, The Late Late Show, from people who have attended the live audience, and let's just say a lot of them hated their experience. These aren't spam reviews, by the way. The reviews are very far apart in dates. It's not like everyone just went on and spammed them because they hate James Corden. These are written by legit users, and they all have one very common theme, in which that James Corden seems to think he's above the audience. You know, his actual fans who came out and paid to see him. I'm just gonna read the parts that apply to James and skip out the other parts. I don't want it to be too long. The most disappointing thing though was that James did not interact with a single audience member. He chose any off-camera time to talk to members of the band. I've attended many TV shows and some hosts are so gracious with the audience. I'm sad to say not James. James is fairly entertaining, but don't expect him to interact with the audience whatsoever. He is completely in his own world on commercial breaks, and once the show is over, he beelines for the exit. Read other reviews that stated the host James Corden did not interact with the audience. This is indeed true, regardless of the way the audience interactions are portrayed. The disappointing part was James Corden acted so annoyed to even be there. What a disappointment, and shocking to all of us. We spent a total of 6 hours of our precious vacation time for the host to be annoyed, and in my opinion, disrespectful to the audience that was coached to act as if he was the greatest thing in the world. James forgot to reciprocate his thanks to his fans that have chosen to spend the time to attend his show, go to his movies, and watch The Late Late Show. Warning, the negative reviews on his page are true. Then after finally starting the show, James seems annoyed and never addresses the audience. He was on his phone during the commercial breaks and seems to care less. What you see on TV is not his real personality. Go to see Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now that's a great experience. So many similar experiences, and these TripAdvisor reviews all match up with one of the users on the Reddit AMA. He talked about his experience at one of James's UK shows called A League of Their Own. He said, massive person, I saw A League of Their Own filming live, threw multiple tantrums over minor things at the production staff, with him being incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward, like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of the filming, people got up to get pictures with James, and he massively kicked off, shouting at people to go away and to go back to their seats, and the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Extremely similar to the Late Late Show reviews. James apparently always on his phone, never acknowledging his own fans. So Big Puss Puss, it seems that you have not changed at all like you claimed. And again, let's revisit this line in the article because it becomes way more entertaining now. Corden claims he's no longer a giant arsehole. Gonna have to press X on that one, buddy. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Please leave a like right now if you're enjoying this Hollywood Psycho series. You love the Ellen one so much. It's nearly got 100,000 likes in under a month. So if you want more of these, want me to look at other celebrities, leave a like right now and comment below. Who do you want me to look into? What celebrities have you heard or people have talked about that don't seem to be who they are on TV at all? And I know it's not the most shocking thing in the world, a celebrity being a knob. However, especially with talk show hosts who try to be this relatable figure to people and really like they're your best friends, it's entertaining to hear the stories that people have of these celebrities and just to, you know, dissect it and really see if it all matches up and if these people are who they say they are. Because surprisingly, there are actually some celebrities who are really cool and who are really nice, but you get people like this who treat everyone like shit and think they're above everyone. Please subscribe right now to the channel if you're new. So many new subscribers recently. You guys are loving the new content and I'm loving making it. So please sub if you want more. Really helps out, gives me a good indication you guys are enjoying it. My Instagram is @KavosYT. Like I always say at the end of every video, I message my fans on Instagram quite a bit because they give me tips on what I should make videos about. Just like I said, whoever, even other celebrities you'd want me to make these videos on, message me on Instagram your suggestions @KavosYT. I do reply to a lot of them. However, I do get a ton these days ever since I started doing this. So it is hard to reply to everyone, I can't lie, but I will try as much as I can. My Twitter @KavosYT as well. Nearly at 100k. We hit 80k the other day. Thank you so much for that. Please follow that if you are new. I've been trying to hit 100k on that, so that would be amazing. If you follow that, every time I post a video, every time a video goes live, you will see it on my Twitter first. And just posting about tweets, calling out people on Twitter, everything. My Twitter is actually a great place to be, just if you want more content outside of my YouTube videos. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, fuck off.